Imagine this. You're 40, maybe 50, maybe 65. Every morning you wake up, you go to work, you eat, you talk to people. And somewhere under all of it, there's a quiet truth you never say out loud. You're not living. You're just functioning. You have stability, but your days feel hollow. You have people around you. But the real connection died a long time ago. You move on autopilot, like you've been sleepwalking through your own life. Then one morning you look in the mirror and a stranger looks back. Tired eyes, heavy shoulders, and a voice inside asks one question you can't answer. Where did I go? Here's what no one told you. That feeling is not weakness. It's a signal. 2,000 years ago, 3 men felt the exact same thing. Marcus Aurelius ruled the entire Roman Empire and wrote in his private journal that he had to fight himself just to get out of bed. Seneca was one of the richest men in Rome and admitted he was eaten alive by anxiety and the fear that his time was running out. Epictetus was born a slave, beaten until his leg was crippled, and became one of the freest men who ever lived. 3 men, 3 different prisons, 1 way out. You're watching Stoic Inspire. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to give you 3 rules to rebuild yourself from nothing. Not theory, not motivation that fades by lunch. 3 rules you can start today. Rule 1 rebuilds your mind. Rule 2 rebuilds your body. And Rule 3, stay until Rule 3. Because Rule 3 is the one that holds the other 2 together, and most men never reach it. Let's begin. Rule 1. Master the mind. Your mind was supposed to be yours. It isn't anymore. It belongs to the noise, the feed, the endless scroll, the comparison that never sleeps. You wake up and reach for the phone before you reach for your own thoughts. You consume other men's opinions until your own voice goes silent. Marcus Aurelius saw this same pull in himself, the urge to live inside other people's heads. In Meditations, Book 4, he wrote, "How much trouble he avoids who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does." He understood something you've forgotten. Your attention is your life. Whoever owns it, owns you. So here's the first move. Detox the mind. You cannot build a new life with a poisoned one. You wouldn't pour dirty fuel into an engine and expect it to run, yet every morning you feed your brain garbage and expect clarity. 7 days. The first 30 minutes of every morning. No phone, no feed, no noise. You feed your mind truth instead. Read the Stoics. Read men who survived worse than you ever will. Train one skill that makes you sharper. Don't call it reading, call it training. Because your mind is either your sharpest weapon or your tightest cage, and every single morning you choose which one it becomes. Then comes the second move. Guard the gate. Marcus wrote in Book 8 that if you're disturbed by something outside you, the pain isn't from the thing itself, it's from your judgment about it. And you have the power to erase that judgment in a moment. Read that again. The insult didn't wound you. Your judgment did. The setback didn't break you. Your story about it did. The weak man reacts. The Stoic decides. So train it the way a soldier trains. Every morning, write 3 thoughts that strengthen you and 3 that weaken you. Through the day, catch the weak ones the second they appear and replace them with something true. At night, ask one question: did my mind serve me today, or did it run me? This isn't thinking positive. It's thinking with discipline. Write this down and mean it. My mind is mine. I command it. It does not command me. That's Rule 1. But a sharp mind in a soft body is a sword with no arm to swing it. Which brings us to Rule 2. Rule 2. Forge the body. Your body is the vessel. It carries your mind, your work, and your name through this world. Let it rot, and everything you built inside it rots with it. The Stoics never split the body from the soul. They disciplined both. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man on earth, opened book 5 of his journal by talking himself out of bed. At daybreak, when you find it hard to rise, remind yourself you were born to act as a human being. He didn't rise because it was easy. He rose because he refused to be ruled by comfort. First move. Eat like a man with a purpose. Your body is not a trash bin. Every meal is a vote for the man you're becoming or the man you're trying to leave behind. Before you eat, ask one thing. Does this make me stronger or weaker? You don't need a perfect diet. You need to stop lying to yourself with your fork. Second move. Protect your sleep like a weapon. Seneca warned that it's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste so much of it. He wrote that in On the Shortness of Life, and every late night you burn on one more episode, one more scroll. You are stealing from tomorrow's strength. No man builds anything great on a foggy mind. 7 to 8 hours. Not a luxury, a discipline. Third move, and this is the one the modern world forgot. Choose hardship on purpose. The Stoics called it voluntary discomfort. Seneca, one of the richest men in Rome, would spend days eating the plainest food and sleeping on the hard floor, then ask himself, "Is this the thing I was so afraid of?" He trained his fear in peacetime so it could never ambush him in war. You do the same. The cold shower, the hard run, the workout you don't feel like doing. Every time you choose comfort, you teach yourself you can be bought. Every time you choose the hard thing, you teach yourself you can be trusted. And don't expect it overnight. Epictetus, the crippled slave who became a master, said it plainly, no great thing is created suddenly. You are not rebuilt in a day. You are rebuilt in 1,000 small refusals to quit. Write this down. My body is my discipline made visible. I forge it daily. Now the mind is sharp. The body is strong. But I told you Rule 3 holds the other 2 together. Here's why. Rule 3. Rebuild the heart. And before you tune out, this is not the soft part. This is the part most men run from, because it's the hardest one to face. You can have a sharp mind and a strong body and still feel dead inside. You've met those men. Successful on paper, empty under the surface. Maybe you are one. That emptiness has a cause. Somewhere along the way you built walls to keep the pain out. But walls don't filter, they block everything. Keep out the wound, and you keep out the meaning right along with it. Marcus wrote in Book 4, "Be like the rock against which the waves break. It stands firm, and the raging water falls still around it." A strong heart is not one that never gets hit. It's one that takes the hit and stays standing. First move, put the weight down. You're carrying years of it. Anger, regret, a grudge you've replayed 10,000 times. Epictetus taught that it's not what happens to you that wounds you, it's the judgment you keep repeating about it long after it's over. So for the next 30 nights, write down one thing you release. One person, one mistake, your own included. You don't forgive because they earned it. You forgive because you refuse to carry dead weight up the mountain. Letting go isn't weakness. It's refusing to stay a prisoner of something already finished. Second move. Live for something past yourself. A man with no purpose drifts, no matter how disciplined he is. Marcus understood we are built for one another. What harms the hive, he wrote, harms the bee. You were not built to grind only for yourself. The heart comes alive the moment it's aimed at something bigger than you. So watch the moments you feel most alive. When you teach, when you build, when you carry someone who can't carry themselves. Those aren't accidents, those are directions. Start small. Help one man this week with nothing expected back. A heart that gives doesn't run dry. It grows harder to break. Write this down. I am not here to merely survive. I am here to stand for something. That's Rule 3. And now you can see why it holds the others together. Because these 3 rules are not a list, they're a circle. A sharp mind gives your body direction. A strong body gives your heart the strength to stay open. And a heart with purpose gives your mind a reason to stay sharp. The mind is the compass. The body is the vessel. The heart is the fire. Break one, and the whole machine fails. Move all 3 together, and you become a man almost nothing can move. And here's the proof. The man who wrote about all of this, Marcus Aurelius, didn't write Meditations from a palace in peace. He wrote it in a war tent, on the freezing northern frontier, while a plague tore through his empire and killed people he loved, surrounded by men who wanted his throne. He had every excuse to break. Instead, every single night, he picked up a pen and rebuilt himself 1 page at a time. None of them were perfect. Marcus fought his own mind. Seneca doubted himself. Epictetus lost his freedom and his body. They were not flawless men, they were relentless men. And relentless is a choice one that's available to you right now. So here's the truth no one will hand you. Fix the mind, and you fix the direction of your life. Forge the body, and you free the spirit inside it. Rebuild the heart, and you will never lose your way again. You were not born to merely exist. You were born to wake up. And the man in that mirror, the tired one, the stranger that is not who you are, that is who you became while you were asleep. Today, you wake him. Not tomorrow, not someday. The first step is the very next thing you do after this video ends. This is Stoic Inspire. If this hits something real in you, don't just watch it, live it. Hit subscribe, because we walk this path together every single week. And in the comments, write 1 word. Begin. Just that. Make it a promise to yourself that today is the day you stopped sleepwalking. The mind, the body, the heart. Master all 3 and become a man the world cannot break. I'll see you in the next one.